All right, leaving where I left off is the attachment theory is next. Ainsworth and Bowie, they are responsible for developing the attachment theory. The attachment theory pretty much is the infant needs intimate and continuous relationship with mother so infant can develop normal emotional attachments. Keyword. Three types of attachment are secure, avoidant, and ambivalent. Secure attachment is when the child refers to mother as home base. When mom leaves, child gets upset. When the mom returns, child is happy. Avoidant attachment is the child does not seek initial proximity to mother and avoids mother when she returns. Ambivalent attachment is decreased exploratory behavior in mom's presence. Distress when mom leaves and returns. Alternate between aggression and comfort with mother. And developed from inconsistent, unpredictable relationships. We're going to go into cognitive domain now. Different theories. The cognitive domain includes all aspects of human cognition, pretty much your thought process, and how one learns and how they're impacted by their environment. Paget focused on the cognitive domain, 4 stages of how cognitive development is learned internally. Paget's 4 stages of cognitive development are sensory motor, pre-operational, concrete operations, and formal operations. Sensory motor is when a child starts to construct the understanding of the world by coordinating sensory experience and physical actions. This is the key cognitive development part that I'm about to say is child develops object permanency and object consistency. Pre-operational stage is child starts representing the world with words and images. Child still struggles with logic and understanding, and the point of view of others, and understanding the point of view of others. Concrete operation stage is child starts to develop reasonable logic, classify objects into categories, but it's very concrete, and struggles with abstract hypothetical concepts. Yet child thoughts are unique and less egocentric, and they start thinking of other people's feelings. Formal operation stage is that's the last one that you develop, and develops in-depth reasoning and abstract thoughts, especially like when you're an adult. Becomes idealistic, develops logic ways of thinking, scientific thinking, and understands multiple potential solutions. Vygotsky, this is another theory. He focused on the nature of learning is social, is through social learning, not like Paget. He focused on internal learning. That's how it was developed. But Vygotsky, the nature of learning is social. Development of cognition is primarily based on social interactions. There's 2 levels of this. It's really quick, and it's the social level. That's where the child very starts. That's where you first start learning. Is at the social level. Social level through social interactions between people or someone teaching you. And then it moves on to the individual level. That's where you start to apply what you learn from other people. Eleanor Gibson, she focused on creating the visual cliff test and focused on visual perception and the reaction of visual processing. Now we're going to go into a psychomotor domain. And then that's the development of performance of movement. Gesell, his theory is what are the norms of motor development, focused on the correct way to quantify the development of movement. He developed 4 stages with this, and it's called 4 stages of development direction. Cephalocaudal is the first one, proximal to distal, medial to lateral, and up against gravity. Cephalocaudal, it's 1 word, not 2. Is development starts from head to toe. Infants gain control of their head first, then shoulders, down the spine, then to the lower legs. Proximal to distal is development starts from inside out. Infants start to gain control of their shoulders and hips before they gain control of their hands and feet. And pretty much think gross motor control before your fine motor control. Medial to lateral is kind of like proximal to distal, but I think of it in terms of anatomy. And like if you use your hand, for example, you're going to develop graph moves with your ulnar, which is your medial part. Just stand like this, your medial part, before you gain graph movement with your radial, which is your lateral part. Up against gravity, pretty much a child gains strength from resistance of gravity, develops muscle strength and tone. And, the child starts completely prone. They go to their elbows, then they support with their hands, all fours, and eventually start walking. McGall's theory, not going to really go into that one because I still have to study up on it. So we're going to go into reflexes, which is connected to Gasell and McGall theory. But pretty much reflexes are automatic responses from stimuli of the muscles and nerves that's being delivered from the spinal cord in the brain. The hierarchy level is what we're going to be talking about pretty much. That goes into the reflex theory. Is motor system development and the connection of nervous system in 4 levels. And it's separated into lower and higher centers of reflexes. The very first, at the lowest level, is your flaccid reflex, which comes from your spinal cord. Your prostal reflex that comes from your brainstem, and that maintains your head position. The next one is writing, which is writing response. Maintaining body position comes from the midbrain, and your equilibrium takes place in your cortex.